Good evening, I'm Roger, and welcome back to NFL Trending. Tonight's headline centers on a question echoing across the league, from locker rooms to broadcast desks to fan forums everywhere. Can Shedeur Sanders break the fifth-round quarterback curse in his first NFL start? It's a moment years in the making. The former Colorado Buffaloes star, son of Hall of Famer Deion Sanders, has navigated hype, doubt, scrutiny, and expectations to reach this point. Now, as Shedeur prepares to take the field for his first career NFL start with the Cleveland Browns, the stakes have never been higher, not only for the team, but for his legacy, his critics, and the handful of mid to late round quarterbacks still fighting to prove they belong in a league dominated by first-round arms. For decades, the NFL draft has dictated quarterback destiny. First-round picks get the headlines, the endorsements, the trust, the immediate opportunities. Fifth-rounders? Historically, they get clipboards. They get practice squad reps. They get the role of insurance policy, not franchise centerpiece. For every rare success story like Dak Prescott, there are dozens of quarterbacks whose names barely lasted longer than a training camp session. That's the mountain Shedeur Sanders is trying to climb. And tonight, the question isn't just whether he can play well. It's whether he can rewrite a pattern that has held firm for generations. Shedeur's NFL journey began under intense scrutiny. Many analysts were shocked to see him fall to the fifth round, a slight attributed to mixed scouting reviews, questions about his interview performances, and concerns regarding his adjustment to the pro level. But Cleveland saw something in him: toughness, arm strength, and a competitive fire that pushed him through a national spotlight at Colorado. And make no mistake, Sanders has not had a quiet entrance into the league. This season, he has been at the center of headlines time and time again. Debates over his maturity, criticisms from former coaches, opinions from former players ranging from supportive to outright dismissive, media clips dissecting his body language, speculation about his relationship with the Browns coaching staff, questions about whether he should start, demand a trade, or stay patient. But tonight, none of that matters. Tonight, the only thing that counts is what happens on the field. This opportunity didn't fall from the sky. It opened gradually, then suddenly. Cleveland's quarterback carousel, trades, depth chart reshuffling, disappointment, injuries, and shifting schemes has created the perfect storm. At one point, veteran leadership was the priority. Then developmental upside. Then locker room command. The Browns have cycled through philosophies almost as quickly as they've cycled through quarterbacks. But Shedeur stayed ready. Teammates have quietly praised his preparation, his focus in film sessions, and his willingness to learn behind the scenes. Coaches have spoken about his growing comfort in the system, his improved decision-making, and the crispness he's developed in timing routes. Even those who once questioned his maturity have acknowledged that he has made strides, choosing to let action speak instead of emotion. And now, the Browns need him. This week, the team announced Sanders would take the reins for his first NFL start. It didn't take long for the football world to react. Analysts called the move bold, overdue, risky, necessary, inevitable, depending on who you ask. Fans split between excitement and nerves. Former players debated whether he is being thrown into the fire too soon. And of course, comparisons began flooding in. The fifth-round curse, a long list of quarterbacks who were never given a true shot or never made the most of one, from project players to journeyman backups to practice squad lifers. The odds are rarely in their favor. But Shedeur Sanders has never been a stranger to long odds. Coming out of high school, many doubted whether he could succeed at the Division I level. He responded by breaking records. When Colorado entered the national spotlight under Coach Prime, critics said the pressure would overwhelm him. Instead, he embraced it and became one of the most talked about quarterbacks in the country. When NFL scouts questioned his durability, He rebuilt his physique and took hits week after week behind one of the most pressured offensive lines in college football. Tonight, he finds himself in familiar territory, a young quarterback with a chance to seize control of his story. The matchup he faces in his first start is not a soft landing. The opposing defense is fast, physical, and loaded with experience. They disguise coverages, bring pressure from unpredictable angles, and feast on quarterbacks who hesitate. Sanders will have to be decisive, poised, and smart, all traits the Browns coaches believe he is beginning to master. For Cleveland, this game isn't just about evaluating one player. It's about direction, identity, stability. The Browns have spent years searching for long-term consistency at the quarterback position. If Shedeur performs well, the organization may view him as more than a developmental project. If he struggles, the team may revert to veteran options or reshuffle again. But Shedeur Sanders has something many fifth-round quarterbacks do not: belief. The belief of his teammates. The belief of a fanbase hungry for hope. And the belief of people who watched him grow from college standout to NFL learner to now NFL starter. He also carries the belief, or at least the expectation, of a national audience watching to see whether the son of prime time can deliver a primetime moment of his own. His father, Deion Sanders, has remained publicly supportive but firm. He has always told his sons, "Your name gets you attention, but your work gets you respect." Tonight, Shedeur has the chance to earn that respect on one of the biggest stages in sports. As kickoff approaches, the question deepens: is Shedeur Sanders ready? Can he beat the odds? Can he break the fifth-round curse? Only the game will answer those questions. But regardless of the outcome, this night marks a turning point for Shedeur, for Cleveland, and for the narrative surrounding mid-round quarterbacks in the modern NFL. For the first time in his professional career, the offense is his. The moment is his. The pressure is his. And the opportunity is his. Now, it's up to Shedeur Sanders to show the world what he plans to do with it. I'm Roger, and this is NFL Trending. Stay tuned, the story is just getting started.